Hey guys, it's Raul again, and today I'm going to be bringing you the monthly recommendations for the month of April. So as usual, Monthly Recommendations is a group that was created by Trina from Between Chapters and Kayla from the channel Kayla Rain. I will link both of their channels down below, as well as the Goodreads groups as usual, for you guys to join in and recommend books every single month. So for the month of April, the topic is survival stories. So anything kind of that you interpret as a survival story. So I thought at first I wasn't going to do this, but then I started realizing that I have read quite a few survival stories, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first book that I have to recommend for you guys is The Strain by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. This is a vampire epic type story. Takes place in New York City about this vampire outbreak. These vampires are super violent, and our main characters are trying to survive this outbreak as it continues to grow within New York City. It's super terrifying, really fast paced, and definitely a survival story. The next book or series that I have to recommend for you guys is the Rotten Ruin series by Jonathan Mayberry. This is a series that I've been reading for the last couple months with Di from Dices 19, and I've absolutely been loving this series. It is a zombie apocalypse type story, so definitely kind of another survival-y atmospheric thing to it about these kids that are trying to survive within the zombie apocalypse. So this is more of like Walking Dead YA version, sort of. So it's been really fun, really action-packed. So definitely one that I had to add in here for the monthly recommendations because this is a straight-up survival story. The next book that I have to recommend for you guys is Room by Emma Donoghue. This book I know is right now one that's really popular because of the movie and everything, but I read this book probably like 5 or 6 years ago. So for those of you who don't know, this story is told in the perspective of a 5-year-old boy, and his story kind of within this room. It is all he's known. His mom was abducted early on, and he was born within this room, and it's kind of his story surviving with his mother, because all he knows is the inside of this room where him and his mom have been held captive for the last 5 years or more. And it's just very heartbreaking kind of story where you kind of see the world through this little boy's eyes. It's really good. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know, like I said, a lot of people have been talking about it, and I really enjoyed it when I read it, so definitely a survival-y type story. And the next book that I have for you guys is The Host by Stephenie Meyers. I know a lot of people don't really like Stephenie Meyers and her writing, but I really enjoyed The Host. I definitely thought it was better than the Twilight series. This is a kind of alien invasion type story where the aliens kind of come in and overtake people's brains and kind of push their consciousness out of their brain, but our main character in here gets abducted, and one of the aliens kind of gets introduced into her body, but she does not leave the body like every other human is supposed to. So her conscience is still living within her body and the host that's actually trying to take control of it. So there's two different perspectives within this book with this one human, with our main character, which is really fun, kind of jumping in between and reading about these technically two different characters within the same body as they're, seeing and viewing life the same exact way through the same eyes. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed this story, really enjoyed the characters, and it definitely has that survival aspect to it where the kind of last group of human beings are trying to survive, don't want to be taken over by these aliens that have obviously come to Earth. So definitely a survival story, definitely one that I enjoyed personally, so I'm recommending to you guys. And the last set of books are all by the same author, my favorite author, Dean Koontz. And these are definitely 4 books that I will briefly go through and explain short synopsises about. But these are all technically survival stories that I really enjoyed. The first one being Midnight by Dean Koontz. This is about a creepy town, and our main characters kind of trying to survive this town and the inhabitants of this town that are kind of slowly becoming crazy and very hostile and very violent. And yeah, it's very scary and gets very intense at some points, so definitely check this one out. Then we have Watchers by Dean Koontz, and this is our 2 main characters kind of surviving this beast or this monster that escaped from this lab, and there are a lot of people trying to find this beast, and this beast is also trying to find them. Then we have Intensity by Dean Koontz, which is about our main character who goes on a trip to visit her friend's family, and a serial killer shows up to the house, murders everybody, and she is kind of thrust into this world of trying to either choose to escape or go after the serial killer after she finds out a secret about the serial killer. So it's definitely very intense, as the title says it. I absolutely loved this book. This is definitely one that's very creepy, that you should read with the lights on, probably during the day. So yeah. And then the last Dean Koontz book that I have is one that I've recommended before, and that is The Taking by Dean Koontz. This is another kind of alien invasion type story, where the aliens come down and are abducting everybody, but they're not taking the children, and there are only specific adults that are kind of staying behind, have to kind of keep watch for the children. So it's really intense, really, really scary at points. I know I definitely recommended it for my kind of favorite like creepy reads. So this is definitely one that also fits into the survival category, because they're all trying to survive this alien abduction. So yeah, it's just definitely one of my favorite books. So yeah guys, that is it for my recommendations for survival stories. If you guys have read any of these, let me know in the comments below what you thought of them. If you guys are planning on reading any of these, also let me know. If you guys have made a video for this monthly recommendations group, definitely let me know. I would love to check them out, because I've been watching a lot of these recommendations for this month and have been really enjoying them, and really getting a lot of recommendations from it, from books that I had no idea that sound awesome. So I've been really enjoying this month's theme. So as usual, thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you all next time.